Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whenever you may be watching. This is Christine at Christina's Crocheting, and today is Worked Up Wednesday. This is the last Wednesday in April, April 30th, and so here I am. It's in the evening, but this is the time that I had available to share what I have worked up in April. So I'm going to start off showing some items that I made for sending to Rose at Rose Likes Crochet. It is for, I want to say it's the Generous Crocheter, but now that I say that, it's probably not correct. But I will have it linked below, and I will have Rose's channel linked below as well. But these are donations, and the Generous Crafter, I think that's it. And they send out donations to multiple different places that need them. So what we were doing for May, which I have these now so that I can mail them this weekend. For May, it is baby hats. And so I found these tutorials from Storybook Crochet, and I will have that channel linked below as well. So I did newborn hats, 3 to 6 month hats, and 6 to 9 month hats. And I'm going to show those to you with the yarns that the yarn bands that I used. So for the first ones, these are just little newborn hats. And I did 2 in this jade color and 1 in this blush color. And for those, pull this up. It was the newborn, it was an eye hook. And Big Twist for the jade green. This is Big Twist Value, and it's called Jade Green. And as I said, for the newborn hats, it was an eye hook. And then the blush is a Loops and Threads in the color Blush. And it's another acrylic. They're both acrylic and 4-weight. And so that is the newborn one. And so I did 3 of those. 1, 2, 3. And then the 3 to 6 month, I switched it up and I did 2 of the blush. You can see that they are bigger than the other ones. And then 1 of the jade. And these were using still both of those yarns, but it was with an H hook. And then the 6 to 9 months, I only did 2 of these because I was running out of time before today. But these are using from Knit Picks, Brava Tweed, and it's in a 4-weight. And it is the color Poinsettia, and it's a tweed. It's really pretty. And so this is the 6 to 9 month, which it is definitely not a lot bigger, but it is definitely bigger than the 3 to 6 month. So we have those, and then we have 4 hat and scarf sets that I have done for local charities, and I think that my head covering is just going to fall off. That's okay. And so I'm going to go ahead and share these. So this, of course, I didn't bring them. Okay. So the hat is this color And it is, I love this yarn from Hobby Lobby. And I made a couple of these in the last month, and then I don't have the yarn. It's back in my office, so I don't have that. But this is the Bag O' Day Easy Blue Beanie with the front and back posts that I put at the bottom. And along with that is a scarf using Big Twist in the color of Toffee, which I thought was really pretty. And I used a J-hook, and I just did alternate rows of single crochet and double crochet. And so that goes with that, nice and neat. And that is what I did for that one. And again, these hat and scarf sets are for local donations, which I'm working on for next fall. But if you only do 4 a month, you know, that's not a ton of them. So, and then the next 3 hats are the same. I love this yarn in this wild bright color. And I don't have it with me. It's, again, over in my office area. So that's cool how the white did the, it's kind of a stripe all the way through. That's kind of cool. You can see the orange too, like that. Anyway, again, same Bag O' Day tutorial for the beanies, and I'll have those noted below. And then for the scarf, this is a color Plum, and it's Big Twist value. You know what? I'm thinking that these are not I Love This Yarn, because I wouldn't have bought that and gotten the Big Twist. So it might be Big Twist. I'm sorry. I apologize. I guess it doesn't really matter to you, but I like to be fairly accurate when I'm talking to you about stuff. But because I'm using Big Twist, I'm pretty sure that's probably what this is too. Is probably a variegated Big Twist. Anyway, so for the scarf to go with that one, I did a New to Me stitch. And the New to Me stitch is called the Triple Crochet Cluster V-Stitch. I used a J-hook, and this is a 4-weight acrylic, and this is what it looks like. There we go. It's the V-stitch. I had it upside down on the other side. Anyway, it was another Bag O' Day stitch tutorial, and I will have that linked in the description box, as I always try to do, in case anybody is interested in trying out a stitch that you see. And then we'll do this one. And so then I have another one of the hats. And the scarf for this one, it is in the color Rust. And again, it is Big Twist value. And I used a J-hook. And this is the staggered half double crochet stitch. Interesting enough, if you check out Bag O' Day, I thought this was interesting. She actually has 2 tutorials for the staggered half double crochet stitch. One was put out, this one that I did was put out a year or 2 years ago, and the other one was just recently done. So I thought that was interesting. They're actually just a tad different of how she does part of it, but all in all, it's the same stitch. It just, a little bit of it is a little different, like on the sides. But I think it's a really pretty stitch. Anyway, that's the staggered half double crochet. And then we've got one more, and I like that stitch too. So get that in there so they stay together. Okay. And then the last one, whoopsie daisy, is again with this wild looking color of yarn for the hat. And the scarf color is called Varsity Gold. And again, it is the big twist value. I'd gone to Joann's in March, the end of March, when they were saying they were closing. And I went and got some yarn, and this is some of the yarn that I got. And I have a little bit more that I will be doing for May. And I think I'm done with Joann yarn, and I don't plan on going back and getting any more because our Joann's are still open as of right now. But onto this Varsity Gold J-hook, the silt stitch. I like the silt stitch. The silt stitch is very easy to do. It's a 1-row repeat, and it's almost like rows and columns. I mean, you've got rows and then it's like columns, because you do a single stitch and then the next row you still do a single stitch. So it's, and then the double stitches are one over the other. I really like it. Has a little bit of texture, not a ton, but a little bit. They all had a little bit of texture on these. All the different ones, even the double single that I did, the alternating rows. Okay. All right. That is all. I think that's all I did. Yep. I don't think I did anything else. I'm working, of course, I'm working on something. So I've started something else, but this is all of the finished objects for April. And I will have the channels linked below that I mentioned. And now an update. I think some of you know, if you've looked at anything on my channel over the last couple of weeks, that my daughter had her baby early, and it was 2 weeks ago tonight. And so he's 2 weeks old and he's still in the hospital. He's doing well, other than not eating out of a bottle on a constant basis. So he still has the feeding tube. It's called an NG tube, an NG feeding tube, and it's nanogastric, something like that, because it goes like through the nose and then down and stuff, but it doesn't hurt him or anything. And anyway, so they're just waiting for him to grow a little bit stronger so that he can do that on his own. I mean, not hold it on his own or anything, but to be drinking using a bottle instead of having it fed through the tube. So anyway, other than that, he's doing great, and they just would like him to be at home. His brother will be 5 in June, and so they're kind of in limbo. You know how that is, where Colleen, my daughter, mentioned today, she said, we're in a holding pattern, even though the world continues to move along. but they're just, you know, waiting for that addition to their family to be part of their family. So anyway, all right, that is it. That is Worked Up Wednesday. Lots of good stuff to share with others, and hope that everyone that gets the items enjoys them, and that they do the job that they need to do for them, keeping them warm, or little babies when they're, you know, firstborn or little, because you want to keep them warm. Babies don't regulate their warmth as easily as older people do, you know, so they can't tell us if they're cold or warm, or, you know. So anyway, that's it. That's all I've got. And it's evening time, so I'm going to get this loaded up, and I will talk to you soon. And those are all of my ponchos, capelets. I've got the 2 shorter ones and then the 2 longer ones. All right, that's it. I think I'm tired. So we have company as well. And so it's, yeah, company can be tiring just because it's different stuff, right? So anyway, I'm off. Thank you so much. Take care, and I'll talk to you soon.